Livin' Grand on Grand Lake is made possible in part by
The Grand Lake Association is in its 60th year promoting the Grand Lake region in partnership with the Oklahoma Department of Tourism. Located in Grove, the Grand Lake Visitor Center welcomes people from around the country and provides information on where to stay, shop, eat, area services, and activities around Grand Lake. The GLA also sponsors the Pelican Festival in September with crafts, a parade, and a carnival. The Grand Lake Boat and Sports Show in March, and the Grand Lake Extravaganza, the world's largest bass tagged event. More information is available at grandlakefun.com.
and by
The Grand River Dam Authority is Oklahoma's state-owned electric utility, fully funded by revenues from electric and water sales instead of taxes. GRDA's low-cost, reliable power touches 75 of 77 counties in Oklahoma. At no cost to taxpayers, GRDA also manages 70,000 surface acres of lakes in the state, including Grand Lake, Lake Hudson, and the W.R. Hallway Reservoir. Today, GRDA's 500-member workforce continues to produce the same power for progress that has benefited the state for over 75 years.
and by
You can experience the excitement. You can experience the fun. You can experience the freedom. Your adventure awaits.
and by
There's no need to travel for quality health care. Integris Grove Hospital provides exceptional care close to home. From primary care to specialists like OBGYN, cardiology, orthopedics, urology, ophthalmology, and more. Integris Grove Hospital. Quality care close to home.
and by viewers and members like you.
Hi, I'm Christy Wallace, and you're watching Living Grand on Grand Lake.
And I'm Tad Jones. Here's what's coming up on today's show.
This week, we're going to talk about dining on Grand Lake and one of the many ways people like to travel to the area. We'll visit two of Grand Lake's public airports, as well as one of Grand Lake's most unique restaurants, the Artichoke.
All that and more coming up on Living Grand on Grand Lake.
There are so many ways to get to Grand Lake, by car, by motorcycle, or by RV. But by far the fastest way to get to Grand Lake is by airplane. And there are some great airports around Grand Lake that have wonderful upgrades, and the views as you're flying over Grand Lake are absolutely beautiful. So put your seat in its upright position and get ready to learn about the airports around Grand Lake.
Hi, I am Lisa Jewett. I am the airport manager for Grove Regional Airport. I am also the Northeast Regional Director for Oklahoma Airports. There are 3 airports in the Oklahoma Grand Lake area.
Yeah, the airport, we started off with just developing the land like developed for a subdivision. And we have 35 hangar lots. We have 5 hangars that have been constructed. We have about 10 who have put down deposits who will start construction, 2 or 3 of them fairly soon.
This airport was established in 1960, and here we are 54 years later getting ready to build a $1 million terminal building. Our runway is 5,250 feet long and 75 feet wide. We have several jets that are based at the airport now, which has changed our status from a municipal airport to a regional airport. So that's a big thing for us. Last year when the bass fishing tournament came to the city of Grove, we hosted many of the fishermen. They landed here and met up with their drivers and took their boats to the Wolf Creek project. The Wolf Creek Park has brought a lot of traffic to our airport. The smallest airplane that we have here is probably little home-built airplanes. We have everything from home-builts to experimentals to Cessna 172s, which are just smaller airplanes, to twin-engine jets, and then we have the larger jets that land here. The largest thing we've ever had here is a G4, which is probably around 55,000 pounds. Our net weight capacity on our runway is 90,000 pounds.
Yeah, we have a lot of exciting plans and things that are about to happen. For example, pilots who fly nationally, internationally, or even locally in bad weather need a WAAS approach, which is electronic approach that lets you land on a dime despite the weather. And that's in the process. We started that in July, and it should be completed mid this year.
The new terminal building project for us will consist of a 4,450 square foot building. It will host a pilot's lounge and a 24/7 access for pilots.
We're from Dodge City, Kansas. We chose Grand Lake because I'm from Tulsa originally. Kind of liked it down here, have a relation down here. We looked all over for different places. We looked all last summer and the summer before. We chose the Ketchum area because of the nice airport and the facility that they're starting to build. That's coming together well in the year and a half that we've been here. It's easy, it's a no-brainer. Everything's close, we can run in, run out.
So we determined that an airport was the way to bring more people access to South Grand Lake.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Living Grand on Grand Lake. I'm RSU TV's General Manager, Royal Ailes. Now, everyone complains that there's nothing to watch any longer on television, but I say there is. RSU TV brings you a unique look at our world every day, from great chefs taking you on a tour of the world with their fantastic food,
to turn your home into your favorite restaurant,
to old-time praise songs with classic gospel hosted by Bill Gaither. RSU TV is delivering the best in programming on television, and you can be a part of this. Become a member of RSU TV Signal Society. Your reoccurring gift of $10 a month will help RSU TV continue to bring great programs into your home. All you have to do is call 1-800-823-7210 or go online to rsu.tv and click the donate button. And when you do, we'll ask you for your credit card or check card number, and every month, $10 will be automatically deducted from your account. This is the most important thing we can do to assure that there is a tomorrow for RSU TV. And when you become a Signal Society member, we'll give you this beautiful fleece blanket and this wonderful coffee mug, both with our logo on the side. As General Manager of RSU TV, I want to thank you for your continued support of this station, the programming we offer, and the changes we're making as we become engaged in our communities.
Welcome back. Here's what's happening on and around Grand Lake this week.
We are here at the beautiful Arrowhead Yacht Club here on Duck Creek, and we have got some great events going on this weekend. Have some very special guests with us today, and a really neat event. I'm now it's been at for 4 years at the Grand Lake Association, now doing some work at the Will Rogers Memorial, and we have got the Will Rogers Memorial Rodeo coming up in Veneta, and we've got 3 generations worth of guests right here. Argene Clanton, Connie Butler, and Bucky Thompson right here representing the Will Rogers Memorial Rodeo. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Well, let's first talk about the history of this wonderful event. And I know it goes back a number of years. This is what, year number 78, is that right?
78th annual.
Well, tell us how this thing started.
Well, back in 1934, Will Rogers came home to Veneta for his college homecoming. And he said, have a rodeo next year and I'll be back. So in 1935, they put together the rodeo, and then unfortunately he and Wiley Post were killed in an airplane crash. But the rodeo, we had the rodeo, and it became named the Memorial Rodeo. And I'll let Dad
And it's been
add
going
anything
on
to
for 78 years, and you have been involved in it for a long time.
Yes, and I've been at it every year, but 3 years. The 78 I took and was about 12 years old first time, and I was in the service for 3 years, and that's the 3 years that I took and missed. But I've been at every year since
Wow.
then.
Well, and we know, Clem McSpadden, everybody knows Clem from these parts, and he was your MC for 40 years, and you said you started right about the time that he did, and what did you do when you started out?
I started out carrying the colors horseback, and I carried them for 40 years. Clem started 2 years announcing the rodeo, 2 years before I started carrying the colors, but I've known him all his life. Because he lived at Oologah and I lived at Chelsea when we was kids, and we worked together, and his brother Bob and I worked together at the rodeo for many, many years, and both of them passed away now. But
yeah, it's been a great event, and has just grown over the years. And Bucky, you said you've got guys from all over the country coming in. Tell us a bit about the rodeo itself and what's going on inside the arena.
Oh well, it's it's a pro rodeo. One of the bigger ones that Oklahoma has. We definitely have probably the biggest arena. We have all of your normal rodeo events, your bull riding, barrel racing, all your timed events. But we also like to incorporate a lot of stuff for the kids. So we have kids mutton busting on our Friday and Saturday performance. That we let them come out and ride sheep and entertain the families, with that during intermission. And this year we have a pretty specialty act that we brought in. It's Kenny Bartram's Steel Rodeo. He's coming in doing a freestyle motocross in our arena. He's going to be setting up ramps and doing his flips and twists and whatever they do on those. So it's going to, kind of pertain to a lot wider audience than, the younger crowd that kind of enjoys the motocross nowadays. And
yeah. So you pile in huge crowds coming in there to the arena there in Vinita?
We do pretty good. We dropped off, several years ago, but the past 3 or 4 years we've really built it back up and, got a lot more involvement with our community and surrounding areas. That's kind of really helped bring our numbers back up and make it a little bit better rodeo each year.
And so tell us a little bit about what's going on as far as the parade goes, and then give us the details if people want to know how to get out there to the rodeo.
Excuse me. On Wednesday, we have our parade, and it starts at 11 o'clock, and it's downtown, and it's huge. It lasts over an hour. We have hundreds of horses. We usually have anybody running for office will be in the parade, and lots of local floats. It's a real big thing there in town. And then that night starts our first performance. And our ticket sales, we're on sale now. You can get any information and keep up with what's going on at willrogersmemorialrodeo.com. And Sue Ayers is selling tickets right now, taking orders. And she's located at the Holiday Inn Express there at Vinita. She has a little office there that she sells tickets. But any information you can get off our website. We have all kinds of national sponsors sponsor us too.
Very good. Thank you so much for being here, and look forward to being at the rodeo. Thank you.
Thanks, Tad. Well, 8 years ago, I remember this nice man coming into my office, Brian, who told me about this fundraiser he wanted to do in honor of his mom and to help benefit Special Olympics. And I am proud to say 8 years later, we have Jack Moore as our guest, who is going strong, has raised a lot of money for Special Olympics. And Jack, tell us about your tournament you have coming up.
Well, would you like to know how it started?
Yes, please. Give us the history.
And thanks for having me here, by the way.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We celebrated my mother's 90th birthday about 8 years ago. And there was a lot of people there. It was in Indiana, where she lived. And there were 93 people there. And Carl Erskine, who people don't know Carl Erskine anymore, but he was an all-star pitcher with the Brooklyn Dodgers and the Los Angeles Dodgers, and he sang "Happy Birthday" to her. Well, that was pretty nice. We liked that. And a couple of days later, my brother and my 3 sons and I were playing a game of golf, and my brother Joe says, whoever loses money today ought to give some money to Jimmy, to Carl, because Carl has a son with Down syndrome. And this boy was born in the 1950s, and of course in the 50s you just institutionalized people with Down syndrome. And Carl brought this kid home and they raised him, and we thought that was pretty impressive. And just kind of as a thank you, why we decided we'd do that. And so my brother and my sons lost all the money, and we sent $165 to Carl's Jimmy Fund. And we were sitting around having an iced tea afterwards, and we got to thinking, you know, we could really make something out of this. And so we decided to set up this tournament. And we, in our mother, we just called it the Mary Moore. And the next year we had our tournament. We called it the second annual because it's easier to sell than the first. So.
I like that idea, Brian.
So
and it's coming up on Friday, August 22nd.
It's Friday, August 22nd at Shangri-La, which of course is like the premier golf course in the four-state area. Good chance to play that golf course.
And you've got a $10,000 hole-in-one.
We do, and we've actually, I've only given the hole-in-one prizes, I think, 3 years, and we've had 2 winners.
Wow, exciting.
And they were both women, ladies.
Girl power.
Yeah. One of them won $5,000 cash, and one of them won 2 airline tickets to anywhere in the country. So
now this is the first year we've had the tournament on a Friday, correct?
That's correct.
And tons of auction items. I know that we always bid on and get a lot of really cool stuff. There's tremendous support from the area, local businesses, and like you said, all the money this year will be raised and go to Oklahoma, Special Olympics Oklahoma.
That's correct. Well, no, actually, well, yes and no. We're supporting the Special Olympics through Home of Hope in Veneta.
Correct.
The money's earmarked for Special Olympics, so it's
Yes.
a great way we can
Yes.
support both causes.
That's right.
And okay, it's $125 per person, which includes your green fees, driving range, golf cart, lunch, awards, tee box gift, and prizes. And for more information, people can call you at 918-557-7670.
That's right.
Sound good?
That's
Jack,
good.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We can't wait to hear how you do on your tournament.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much.
You bet. Bye-bye.
The Jana J. Fiddle Camp and Music Festival will take place August 29th through August 31st at the Grove Civic Center and Snyder's Camp in Grove. The 3-day event will include great music, including appearances by fiddler groups, master fiddlers, and top contest fiddlers. Great food will be served at a barbecue kickoff party and a fish fry. Hours will be Friday from 6:30 to 10, Saturday from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's what's happening around Grand Lake this week. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I'm Jennifer Sterling, Program Manager for RSU Public TV. One of the things I love about being part of RSU TV is that it's much more than just a television station, really more like a family. Our viewers are committed to helping us bring the best possible programming to northeastern Oklahoma. We've introduced a new way to become part of the RSU TV family, the Signal Society. It works like this. Pledge a recurring monthly gift of $10 a month or more right now, and you'll become a member. It's automatically deducted from your credit or debit card or bank account until you cancel. It's easy on the budget for people who want to help, and we'll be able to spend less time and money fundraising. As our special thanks to you when you join the Signal Society, you'll receive a beautiful RSU TV stadium blanket and etched coffee mug. It's so easy to join and help us keep all those great programs on the air. Just call 1-800-823-7210 or go online to rsu.tv. We appreciate your support. If you've been a member for a while, thank you so much. And if you're new, welcome to the family.
There's no shortage of culinary talent on Grand Lake. Our shores feature exceptional restaurants, from private yacht clubs and golf courses to quaint little places off the beaten path. Grand Lake has something for everyone, including the Artichoke, a foodie favorite getting ready to celebrate their 10-year anniversary.
In the spring of 2004, we were looking for a place for my wife Diana to put her commercial greenhouse, and found this property where the landlord said, "Sure, you can do that." Turned around and saw this 100-year-old farmhouse and said, well, if we're going to have a business back here, then we need to do something with that house. So we worked out a really workable deal and spent 30 minutes looking inside and decided that we could turn it into a nice restaurant. So July 28th of that year, we took over May 1st, and then July 28th, we turned it and opened up the Artichoke Restaurant. Back in 1971, I was running a restaurant called The Leather Bottle, and at that time, it was that was the menu in this leather-covered bottle. Well, the only artichoke on the menu, or the only vegetable on the menu, was a whole artichoke, and I still had 5 of the pewter plates that we served it on. So when we wanted to have a vegetable name, to me it was a no-brainer. Like, we'll pick the name of the artichoke because I have the plates, and now I have the bottle to prove that's why I named it that. Of course, back then we sold them for 75 cents. Now they're just a little more expensive. And so it's been kind of fun, and we have Diana, myself, and our original waitress are still here after 10 years. Well, here's some of the artwork that we sell here at the Artichoke, and this one here and the other one, the flowers down there, are done by an artist in Grove, Donna Jackson. And the little one that's kind of the contemporary lake scene and over there is done by an artist out of New York. So we have a different one. We sold about 350 pieces of artwork since we opened up. But the most unique thing about this is the original outside of the house, and it was a 2-bedroom farmhouse, and the people tell me it's over 110 years old, so that makes it about 100 when we started, so it's about 120 years old now. And this is very hard to drive a nail in, so it's like rock hard, but it makes it hard for hanging pictures, but it's great aesthetically to have it here in the house. What we serve with the artichoke spinach dip. It's been fun. We've had lots of great customers that have been here for many, many, many times. As a matter of fact, one couple that is here practically every Friday night. They only miss about 4 every year, and at the same time, same table, and have been coming for all 10 years. Last year, we were selected by our open table customers in the top 100 American cuisine restaurants. So there's only 2 of us in Oklahoma, so we're kind of excited about that. My wife and I had a catering company in Oklahoma City, and for about 20 years, and we sold it many years ago, and then decided to live on Grand Lake, and not intending to open a restaurant, but then we're very happy that we came to this conclusion and did that.
The show will continue, but first, here's some fun in the sun.
Hello, our safety tip for today, we're going to talk about the float plan. Another way to make sure that we have a safe day on the water. A float plan is simply writing down or telling a family member or a friend exactly what our plans are for today. We can tell them what time we leave, what time we're going to return, who we're with, where we're going to go throughout the day. That way, if we have any trouble, somebody knows where we're at and what our plans are. If we don't have any communication, they can send out somebody to look for us and make sure we make it home safe. To add to that, make sure you have communication. Make sure you take cell phones. Make sure you have possibly a marine radio. If you need assistance, you can call for it. So a float plan is just simply telling people and family members exactly what your plans are for today. So if you do have any trouble, you can make sure that you've got help on the way.
Man, another great show about
Excellent
Grand
show.
Lake, airports and restaurants, and so many wonderful restaurants here on Grand Lake. We got a lot coming up this weekend.
We do, and Tad, you know, living on the lake is buzzing with excitement. There's always so much going on holiday weekends, and everyone on this lake is ready for the crowds. We expect thousands of people. We hope that some of our viewers will grab their families and come onto the lake for a great time. Of course, you learned today you can go out on the Cherokee Queen and check the lake out, or visit the Bernice Nature Center, and those are only two of many opportunities for our visitors to check out the lake.
That's right. Thanks for being with us this week, and join us next week for Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Living Grand on Grand Lake is made possible in part by
The Grand Lake Association is in its 60th year promoting the Grand Lake region in partnership with the Oklahoma Department of Tourism. Located in Grove, the Grand Lake Visitor Center welcomes people from around the country and provides information on where to stay, shop, eat, area services, and activities around Grand Lake. The GLA also sponsors the Pelican Festival in September with crafts, a parade, and a carnival. The Grand Lake Boat and Sports Show in March, and the Grand Lake Extravaganza, the world's largest bass tagged event. More information is available at grandlakefun.com.
And by
The Grand River Dam Authority is Oklahoma's state-owned electric utility, fully funded by revenues from electric and water sales instead of taxes. GRDA's low-cost, reliable power touches 75 of 77 counties in Oklahoma. At no cost to taxpayers, GRDA also manages 70,000 surface acres of lakes in the state, including Grand Lake, Lake Hudson, and the W.R. Hallway Reservoir. Today, GRDA's 500-member workforce continues to produce the same power for progress that has benefited the state for over 75 years.
And by
You can experience the excitement. You can experience the fun. You can experience the freedom. Your adventure awaits.
And by
There's no need to travel for quality health care. Integris Grove Hospital provides exceptional care close to home. From primary care to specialists like OBGYN, cardiology, orthopedics, urology, ophthalmology, and more. Integris Grove Hospital. Quality care close to home.
And by viewers and members like you.